Alright, my last video lacked a little bit of context about the coilovers, so I'm just gonna make another video again. And I will just post a video right now how the coilovers look. For the past year that I've had them on the car, I drive through pretty strict winters in Connecticut, and through the summertime here, potholes, plenty of construction here, so I would say they got a considerable beating. So I'm gonna cue that into the video right now. Take a look for yourself.
Pump up the bass line.
So pros and cons about these coilovers are, and then we'll go through each section. I'll give them a star rating and whatever. Cons about these is that if you're going for a very extreme low look, these will not provide that for you. You have to find something different. So like maybe something like an extreme low coilover might be your bet. TNs do that. Fortunatos do that. And some of the other brands, a lot of good brands, budget brands, that can do that for you. But these don't. I think the limit on these are like 2-inch drops. So like most of your lowering springs are gonna do the slammed look. But these coilovers, cheap coilovers, they're not going to give you that slammed look that you're looking for. Rather if it's tucked into the fender type of build that you're looking for. These don't do that. They come with washers, so they're probably maybe about like that thick. So maybe about like, I would say like 1/4 inch thick, 1/2 inch thick probably of a washer, but probably 1/4 inch thick is probably more better to say. To provide you for that rally look. Lifted look, so like Subarus, many of off-road cars like Outlanders, RAV4s, like if that's your type of style that you're looking for, these will do it for you because they come with those washers to raise up the height more. Another con about these is the backs of these, specifically for these SIs, Honda Civic SIs, 8th generation coupes. I think the sedan might be the same way, but these are, the back collars are made out of, it seems like plastic to me. They look like plastic. They might be like a hardened material plastic, but they look like plastic. The threads of mine are not seized in the back, thankfully, but they do have that faint rustic look. So it's definitely a good idea to rinse these every once in a while, clean the threads out, and apply lubricant. So that's the second con about these, is that the backs, if they are in the same style like the Civic SIs are, they will, they're plastic, so just be very wary about that. And they feel cheap. So number 3 con about these is trying to think of a con that I've experienced throughout the time, is I don't think I have a third con, so we'll just go to the pros. The pros about these: hardware fits perfectly nicely through these. I reused my hardware. I recommend replacing hardware because there's going to be times where you are going to want to readjust these. So installation, completely easy, didn't struggle with much. Everything fitted perfectly like I was supposed to. I had a bad experience previously with the Eclipse. I had coilovers on them. I had them expanding rods when they first came out. And I had an issue with a pinch bolt, because I know on older Hondas, like 97, 95s, they have a pinch. So like it'll look like literally like a pinch, and you run a bolt through it and a nut. And that's what tights it to the collar of the strut to make it work out. And you end up stripping them out. That's what happens, basically, long story short. And with my max speeding rods experience, that's what happened. They stripped out and they broke. And had to be chasing a bolt in the middle of the night. Not fun at all, going to work, whatever. But these fitment is great on these Fapo coilovers. Fitment is great. Had no issues with my hardware at all, and everything looked pretty dandy. Second thing, of a pro about these is that the build quality is absolutely great. The welds look pretty solid for what they are. I have no doubt that these are going to break. They won't break. Um, they're pretty good quality overall. It seems like the paint's kind of laid there pretty thick too. Um, no leaks, like my experience with the max speeding rods when I got them back when I had my 98 clips, they were leaking, and it's common for the max speeding rods for them to leak. And these, I never got that experience ever since I installed them for the past year. No leaks, no light ride, you know what I mean? Like usually with leaking struts, you kind of have like this very bouncy ride, and these you don't really get that. Bottoming out is not an issue with these. Um, Pros about these, number 3 is the price. You're paying a little bit of a premium compared to max speeding rods. I think I paid like $200 or $175 for my max speeding rods coilovers for the Eclipse back in 2018. And I think for these Fapo coilovers, I paid around the price of like $300 or $275. And I got a better experience with these than with the max speeding rods. I've heard max speeding rods have upgraded their hardware sense and their quality, but I still wouldn't trust them personally. Just from my own personal experience and other experiences in car groups, I've seen them break. I have seen them fall off, break apart, people losing wheels, getting into accidents. I don't think I've ever heard a bad review on these Fapo coilovers yet, and people having issues with the installation, which is a good thing. Again, companies go through trial and error, and that's fine, just as long as you learn from those experiences of the product, and you develop from that. And I think Fapo exactly did that, is they learned from their flaws and they release a good product. And you get them quickly too. So on eBay, they can range from like $300 to like $400 for coilovers. TNs, you're probably looking at $700, $600 for TNs, and then you have your above, which are your KW coilovers. You have many of other brands. You have your cheaper stuff like what's that other brand? They had like the red coilovers. You have to reuse the hats. Oh, and these, you do not have to reuse the hats. They come with new hats, so you don't have to compress the spring and put the hat on. Because I know in TNs you have to put your own cap on top of their coilover that they're providing for you. But with these, no, they come with their own caps. They're adjustable. I have no use with adjusting them, so I just put them on however on and just go with it. For the past year, my ride quality, I'd probably rate it like a good 8 out of 10. Over time, they will get better. They might feel a little bit stiff of a ride or loose of a ride, but over time they will get to a comfortable range where they're comfortable to drive around. Quality on these, build quality in general, I'd give it like a good 8 out of 10. The only thing I'd probably rate lower than 8 out of 10 for these is probably I gotta think. Maybe the alignment specs on these, because sometimes they do, for me, personal experiences again, with these, my alignment specs were out of the whack, and like no matter what adjustments I would do, they would still have this like this over, I think this is caster, yeah, this would have like this overcaster where it would be like too forward, and what that happens is it doesn't allow for your steering wheel to return back to the center when you let go of the wheel, obviously. So when you let go of the wheel, it stays in position. That's what caster is, technically. That's what it is. And for my car, it has a little bit of a sway to the left, sway to the right, and that's because of that caster. So keep that in mind when you're buying these. Your alignment might be out of whack, but you're supposed to be doing an alignment anyways when you buy coilovers. It's the number one thing you do. And usually I recommend people when they do coilovers to look over ball joints, look over tie rods, look over your sway bar links, because you're taking them off anyways, so why not just do them while you're there? And these things will throw off your alignment if they're bad, so it's good practice. A general rating out of these coilovers is they're solid. They're really good coilovers. I would rate them like a 9 out of 10 because for the price and the adjustability that you get, I'm not writing slammed obviously, it's a pretty good price, and they're definitely worth the $300 asking price that you get out of them. But if you're trying to run slam, trying to get a lot of camber out, run a wide wheel, these aren't it. You don't want these, and you don't want the max speeding rod coilovers either, because they don't allow for that 3-inch drop or that 2.7-inch drop. These are mostly like 2-inch drop, 1.5-inch drop. You know, not anything extreme at all. And warranty on these, I think they come with like a 1-year warranty if I stand correct. So right now, if they do go bad, you can take them out and get a new set within the next couple of weeks probably. But I don't have my old OEM struts, so it doesn't work out for me that way either. Guys, like this video, comment below. I tried to be as much detail as I can because I want to leave you guys with a good impression on these, or maybe with a bad impression. But from my experience, I had a good experience with them, and my tire wear seems pretty decent. Seems okay to me, and my ride quality hasn't been diminished. It feels the same, and I think they personally ride better than lowering springs on a stock strut, because they really, really do. And if you guys have any more questions, drop them down below, because I will reply to your comment if you have questions about these, and if you do plan on getting them, because the max speeding rods are definitely like, I truly wouldn't recommend them, just based on my own personal bad experiences and others in the community too. And that's it. Love you guys. God loves you. Peace out.